Peace and blessings. This is Not Queen with Divine Blessings Apparel, and today's video we are going to go through this design where it's basically a custom for a hoodie. They wanted Kobe on a purple hoodie. So we're going to go to the print settings. We're going to go to the paper size and of course in inches. So the size of the actual design was a 9x5, so that's the thing. We make sure it's mirrored, not the thing, but that's the size. We make sure it's mirrored because it has to be printed backwards, and now we print. Okay, so now let's head over to, oh no, we have to wait for the pop-up. There we go. Okay, so this is what it will print, what the print will look like. Print. Okay, now we see that it's red, and here is the image coming out on the sublimation paper. Now what I did was I cut the K and the O and then the B and the E because I actually had two extra sheets of small pieces of Subliflock, which is the paper that I'm transferring the image to. So I laid the Subliflock at the bottom. I put the KOBE on the top of each sheet, which remember is cut in two. And now we're going to put the parchment paper on top. And we are going to set this at 385 and for 70 seconds. Okay, now it's done. So you see we have the KO and the BE now on the Subliflock. So now we have to head over to, yes, cut. Oh, you know how I love cutting. No, I do not. I hate the cutting machine. I swear I do. That's why I have to invest in a DTG, because then there's no more cutting involved. But anyway, it went through pretty smoothly. And now it's gonna do the K. In less than a minute. And we are done. Okay, so now I am preparing the purple hoodie. We're gonna get that on the heat press. So with the when there's a hood, the hood actually has a seam down the middle in the back of it. So I like to use that seam and make sure the seam is in the middle, and then I look at the bottom part of the hood in the front to make sure that's centered as well. But it seems like every time I use the hoodie, it's always like perfectly centered. So now we're gonna get the lint roller and make sure we get the lint out. Don't want that to be part of the shirt, because if you sublimate the paper over the lint, well, it wouldn't really work with the Subliflock, but like other papers, when you sublimate, when you press and there's lint there, it becomes part of the image. So you just want to get rid of the lint. And now I have to weed out the letters. I also hate this part. So between cutting and weeding, I'm not beat for it. because sometimes it's so difficult to separate the art from the backing. And sometimes I find myself having to do it over. I would literally mess up an entire print. Everything would go straight until I get to the weeding part, and then I have to go and redo everything all over again. So I don't like the weeding. I don't like the cutting. Same thing with the cutting. You know, the image printing is easy, and then I get to the point where I have to try to cut something, and sometimes the brother doesn't cut off. Actually, with this, it didn't cut everything. I had to actually use a X-Acto knife to get the middle of the O. See, look, it's still stuck. So I had to get the X-Acto knife and cut that part. So I'm actually off to the side cutting it. You can actually see me through the computer monitor. I'm over there cutting. Okay. And now we got it out. So the design is for the K to be, you know, down, the O to be up, the B to be down, and the E to be up. So that's what I'm doing, making sure it's centered after I get this E off. Okay, finally got the E off. See what I'm talking about? It's just more time consuming and horrible when you can't get it off the backing. Like, I just really hate that. So now I'm just centering, making sure it's even though it's up and down, I want to make sure that it's centered on the hoodie. Okay, we about done. And now I'm gonna put my parchment paper. I had a piece that was clear. Put that on top. We are going to press it, still at 385 for 20 seconds. And here is the hoodie. So this is Not Queen with Divine Blessings Apparel, and I thank you for watching. I wish you much peace and blessings. Peace.